So good morning everyone. You are welcome in SST video session. So today we will going to continue with our chapter first of civics, the Indian Constitution. So let's see what we have discussed till now in this chapter. So here I am going to share with you my screen. So here you can see that we started our chapter. So the Indian Constitution, we come to know about what is a constitution, that a document that contains all the rules and principles according to which a country is governed. Okay, it is called a constitution. So a constitution is the supreme law of land, and all the laws are made in consideration or in accordance with the constitution. So today we are going to discuss about the challenges that are being faced by the Indian Constitution. So challenges before the Constituent Assembly. First of all, what is a Constituent Assembly? So it was an assembly made to write the Constitution. Okay. So this Constituent Assembly consists of a committee known as drafting committee, which had to draft the constitution, and its chairman was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So the entire responsibility of making constitution was on the shoulders of this assembly. Now drafting the constitution for a huge and diverse country like India was not an easy affair. The long experience of authoritarian rule under the British had convinced our leaders as well as the people that free India should be a democracy in which everyone should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in governance. Thus, India's freedom struggle was not merely a struggle against a foreign rule. In fact, it was also a struggle to rejuvenate our country and transform our society and politics. So India was being ruled for a long time by British. Okay, so that's why we wanted to create a country which will give the people the power to take their decisions by themselves. Okay, we don't want to be dictated by some other person's advice or orders. Okay, so therefore there were also a large number of social evils present in our society, and there were different types of stigmas were present. Okay, so we had to make a new society out of the old society. We had to rejuvenate means दोबारा से बनाना. Okay, दोबारा से जिंदा करना, दोबारा से किसी चीज में जान भरना, जोश भरना. So that's why we need a new type of constitution, new types of laws and rules. The partition of the country into India and Pakistan was a traumatic experience for the people of both countries. The merger of the princely states was a difficult and an uncertain task. So you know, when British left India, we were divided into two countries. So there were large number of people who were migrating from this country to Pakistan and from Pakistan to India. So we need to settle those refugees also, and then we had to also make the princely states agree to join India. Okay, That's why their Constituent Assembly had the great responsibility to settle the challenges which are being faced by them at that time. So the people of India chose to place themselves under a supreme law instead of being ruled by a monarch. So that's why when India became a republic, it was a complete radical break with the past. So in the past, we were ruled by other persons, especially in starting by monarchs and then ruled over by the dictators, okay, colonial rulers. Then after independence, we wanted to make our own constitution and to select our own government. That's why we decided to make our own constitution. A new set of rules were being made. So they adopted a system of governance that vested the power of governance under three branches: the executive, the legislative, and judiciary. So we divided our government into three organs, okay, executive, legislative, and the judiciary. So they all have different functions. For example, if you look at the legislative or legislature, it makes laws. The executive, which is actually the real government, that it implements the laws. Then the judiciary settles the disputes among various parties. For example, the parties may be two different states, or one and more states, or few states versus central government, or one state versus central government, or state versus individuals. So several types of disputes are there that needs to be settled. So it is a work of judiciary to avoid such disputes or to settle such disputes. Now, the Constitution meticulously defines the powers and responsibilities of the three branches and regulates relations between the center and the states. So the Constitution divides powers between central governments and the state governments. Okay, so they have their different set of subjects. They have different lists where different subjects are mentioned, and the respective governments have to make laws on their own subjects. So as we have also discussed during federalism, we were discussing federalism, that there are three types of lists. One is union list, on which the subjects are mentioned on which the central government has the power to make laws. Then we have the state list, on which only state governments can make laws. Then we have the concurrent list, on which both governments can make laws. Then there are few subjects which are not included in any type of list. So they are on those subjects, leftover subjects, central government can make laws. So in this way, central government is quite stronger than other state governments. Now, Constitution also defines the relation between and regulates the relation between center and state governments. The framers of the Constitution took into account the geographical and ethnic diversity of the country to make democracy more effective. So we chose democratic type of government. Okay. They have also worked towards making just distribution of economic resources with an aim to eradicate poverty through socio-economic reforms by adopting a method of systematic planning. So we adopted a method of planning. That's why 5-year plans were started. Okay. So we launched several type of social economic schemes. For example, providing help to the poor people, giving them ration at low prices in the public distribution outlets. Okay. The Constituent Assembly, consisting of indirectly elected representatives, was set up for the purpose of drafting a constitution for undivided India. The assembly met for the first time in New Delhi on 9th of December 1946. The last session of the assembly was held in November 1949. So approximately 3 years were taken by the Constituent Assembly to make the constitution. Now we can discuss various concepts or various events that came in this chapter one by one.